The views expressed on the following program are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and are not necessarily those of WMEL and its advertisers.
Check it out. Listen up, find out what it is all about. Baby, get ready for Matthew Bronson. Oh, take it on, work it out, get it done. You know we're gonna have some fun. Baby, get ready for Matthew Bronson.
Well, this is the Matthew Bronson Show here on award-winning AM 920 WMEL and WMELTV.com. We always have to thank Paul Harvey for spending part of his Saturday with us for the Paul Harvey Weekend Report. I have been waiting all morning long for this. And Joe, I know we've been waiting, yes. I know. It's this portion of the Matthew Bronson Show is brought to you by Mel Bogali Fine Chocolate, makers of the famous Choco Cheese Delight.
Ooh, Nancy, doesn't that sound good?
Oh, what is it exactly?
It is
Sounds scary. I don't know. What is it?
Choco Cheese Delight. It is a cheddar cheese wafer encased in the finest, quality chocolate.
Can't get through that, can you?
I can't. Joey was telling me a joke. I'm sorry. But
I apologize for that, folks. It's just we haven't had a good laugh since all the confusion that's going on.
No.
But chocolate cheese delight sounds good.
Choco Cheese Delight. It's cheddar cheese wafer encased in the finest quality chocolate. It really is good. But it is available in fine chocolatiers worldwide. You can email an order, ChocMG, CHOCMG @myway.com. And remember to visit historic Uptown Melbow Galley, located at the north edge of Melbourne, just a little bit south of the Oogallee. Right?
Oogallee?
Now, Oogallee. If you've been around Florida long enough, it is Oogallee, not
O'Galley or Oogallee. Yeah, I always have a tough time with that.
The French pronunciation is Oogallee.
Oogallee.
But of course. But in that voice that you heard, I am joined by Joe Hartshorn of. I should probably turn back to the camera. I should turn my back to the camera. Very rude of me. But we're going to talk about the high-speed Magna train.
Yeah.
And Bentley Rail. He's the executive director of implementation. We can call him Bent. Nice guy.
Ben is okay, or Bent?
Bent.
That's your choice.
But he is with the Florida Authority of Rapid Trains, FART.
Yep.
All right. And so I've heard a little bit about this, Bent. But bring us up to speed on this. It is a Magna train, somewhat what we hear about in Japan, a magnetic elevated rail service?
Yeah, it's more like they use in Germany than Japan.
Okay. My mistake. My bad.
The train that we intend to employ on this particular route is capable of speeds of up to 300 miles per hour.
Not kilometer, but 300 miles.
No,
that's faster, right?
We did the conversion. We know exactly what speed we want to go.
Is the Florida area or Florida Authority Rapid Transit FART that is a state organization?
No, that's an international organization. With the failure of the original Light Transit Authority train system that nearly made it.
Right.
The international community felt that someone needed to step forward and take a positive role in creating rapid transit in Florida, and that's
well needed.
Yeah.
Where do we get on this, and where do we get off?
Well, our long-term goal is to run a train in kind of the same way Henry Flagler did.
Easy for you to say?
Excuse me, I'm rather nervous. I mostly work around trains.
I'm sorry, I should be more sensitive.
You should be.
Well, in other words, what I'm trying to say is I mostly work around trains.
Yes, okay.
So the train will run from St. Augustine to Fort Myers.
Okay.
But our first leg will be from Cocoa Village.
How convenient.
Yes, it is convenient, and it will run from Cocoa Village to Yeehaw Junction.
All right.
We're planning to take advantage of the casinos that are being built there. We understand that this is well on its way, and we want to be ahead of that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of reports that the expanded gambling will be coming to this area.
Yes, and this is going to be a mini Las Vegas.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeehaw Junction, a major crossroads in the Florida highway system?
yes, historically so, and I won't go into that detail now, but it's always been a major crossroads in
So downtown Cocoa Village.
Yes, we plan it. Our rail will be from 5 feet, elevated from 5 feet to 30 feet, high enough to go over Cocoa Village.
Okay.
Similar to, but nothing like Disney's trains.
Yes.
Almost exactly like it, only different. Totally different.
Are those magnetic?
No, those are just rubber-tired.
Okay. Old technology.
A lot of things there look to be something they're not. This is going to look exactly white. It is not. So it'll be different.
Well, it's good to look like it's not.
Well,
Yeah.
so for me as a local businessman and all, and somebody who would want to go down, maybe do a little gambling. I mean, I don't usually win, but it's fun. This really cuts down on my drive time. This gives me, because I have limited time because I work so much.
Yeah, well, at 300 mile an hour, it will take you 40 minutes to get there, and these are single seat wide trains, so they're very aerodynamic, and they have a kind of a cramped aisleway, but not really cramped, just kind of inconvenient. But the speed makes up for
But
it.
you're on it for such a short period of time.
40 minutes, yes. Now,
Yeah.
one of the problems we have is that the train creates so much heat
Right.
that we have to bring it back empty.
Okay.
So we'll allow people to find whatever transportation they want back, or we are in the process, and I think we've nailed this one down. We have bought some, or leased, well, we're going to lease some former theme park buses. And all of these are guaranteed to have less than 1 million miles on them.
Wow.
So
Have you spoken to the people over at Global Travel and Tours? They have a tour bus that is hardly ever used, and that might be available.
it may be a little upscale for our, we're putting all our efforts in this train.
All right.
And not that we don't care how people get back, because we do. And we think we can guarantee a 75% uptime on these return buses. That's how confident we are.
That is, for
Startup.
startup. That's
Yeah.
You're sure you're not setting your standards too high because you don't want to disappoint people?
Well,
Because 3/4 of the time.
are you referring to some of my other investments? when
No,
you say
no, I'm not
disappoint
familiar
people?
with them.
Because I didn't come here to be scrutinized.
No,
I need to be accepted on face value here.
Now-
This particular, nothing.
We have the utmost regards for the Florida Area Rapid Transit, FART.
Well-
And we do appreciate you taking time to talk. I think this is fascinating news.
And-
One-way transportation from Cocoa Village
At high speed.
At high 300 mile per hour.
Well, now
Up to.
Up to.
Okay.
Up to.
It won't-
Many people are asking, how can we just put rails wherever we want? And this goes back to the Spanish land grant of 1815. And I have volumes, as you can see.
I see you have official documents.
Yes, and what this says is that we can put train tracks wherever we want. Now, the bridge across Lake Washington
Right.
will be a difficult undertaking. We're not denying that. And
But you're up for the challenge?
yes, we are looking forward to the challenge. And so what we want to do is kind of focus on not so much detail. I didn't come to cover a lot of detail.
No, we want the high level just
Yeah.
to bring it to people's attention that the high-speed train is coming.
There will be portions of the track that will cross 95.
Okay.
A number of times because 95 is a circuitous road.
Yeah.
It's not it's not straight south.
No.
Don't
No.
tell me it is. It's not. Okay.
I'm
So
with
in order for us to remain southbound
Mm-hmm.
until we reach our destination, we're going to cross 95 a number of times.
But perhaps we should just take a moment because we want to thank the people at Melbo Galley Fine Chocolates for sponsoring this portion and
Yes.
helping Bentley Rail and share some time with us today.
Just call me Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. But Choco Cheese Delights. Have you had the opportunity to try them, Joey?
I wanted to. Being a diabetic, I can't eat that much, but boy, I like
my sponsor has a sugar-free version of it.
Oh, now that
But
sounds
it's
great.
Imagine this. And this sounds, I know it's a little bit early in the day for sweets, but just think of this. cheddar cheese wafer encased in the finest quality chocolate, and it is available at fine chocolatiers worldwide. You can also order it through the internet via email at CHOCMG, CHOCMG at myway.com. I don't have the whole variety of packages and pricing, but if you send an email to CHOCMG at myway.com, they will get back to you promptly. But chocolate cheese delights, cheddar cheese wafer encased in the finest quality chocolate, a gift that people will remember you for forever.
Dark and light.
Dark and light.
Wow.
You know, we're concerned about the environment at Florida Authority of
FART.
Rapid. Yes. And so we'll be running our train on the new citrus ethanol made from orange peels.
Okay.
And we call our program, we're turning orange peels into transportation. And we think that's pretty original.
That's a great campaign.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's used that campaign up to now.
No, and this was one of the new studies that just came out not long ago on using this type of fuel, isn't it?
Yeah, we like to be edgy. I mean, we're there. And they'll run electric generators that will run electric motors. And that's a little technical.
I would think that people might be concerned about the noise.
Well,
You're going straight from Cocoa Village to Yeehaw Junction.
I'm a little embarrassed that you bring that up because I asked you not to go into detail, but now, to be forthcoming, I'm going to have to deal with it.
I apologize, but appreciate your openness.
We do have an issue with the Doppler effect.
Okay.
People's windows may be broken. Children may be frightened as we go through cattle country.
Who knows?
The cattle, yes, because we're not required to have a fence under the 1815 land grant.
Right.
So the cattle could be in some way frightened as well. So what we've done, we petitioned Congress to repeal the Doppler law, the actual law of Doppler effect. We want to repeal it. So then we don't have a noise problem as the train goes by. Once that law no longer exists, we expect the noise to stop forthwith.
Well, what about folks that might be impacted at business?
You mean like going over their home with
Yeah. I don't know if that's an issue or not.
Well, it's not an issue to us because we have empirical rights there. I mean, this is well-established law. And so, you know, it's their misfortune, obviously, that there are
But
trains
you
will
don't
be...
mean to be insensitive.
Oh, not at all, but you know,
Sounds a little
progress...
cavalier.
Well, I'm so excited, and please
I don't want to
forgive me.
confuse enthusiasm with cavalierness.
No.
My bad.
Let me back up and say, we really care about anyone who we might destroy their property, but on the other hand, we are protected. Our goal and task, the law is the law. Our goal and task is to create this high-speed train travel for a worthy purpose. Okay, we will consider any complaints that come forward, but we will stand on our rights under the
Is there some kind of process in place, or a phone number or email that people can address concerns, or it hasn't been set up yet?
Well, it has, but now that you've raised some questions that we're not ready to answer in detail, I don't think I want to release that. But if ever we speak again about this, I could share those things. But right now,
maybe they could Google FART and get some information.
I think that's possible. I think
we don't know.
I don't know what they would find.
Okay.
It would be
One can only imagine.
It would be presumptuous of me to.
Now, Joe Hartshorn, you're a local mortgage broker here and a frequent guest, and you keep me company a lot. I'm going to assume this is somewhat breaking news.
Oh, this is incredibly breaking
Do you have
news.
any questions as a local resident?
Well, I like the idea about getting down there so quickly, and I say under that same act, shouldn't you be able to build a second train in time for the return trip? Maybe get on one and get off one? Does that work? Or?
This is embarrassing. We never thought about that. It never occurred to us that we might build a parallel track and come back.
Wow.
I mean, you see it on that Disney monorail thing.
You might get Employee of the Month, Ben.
A good point. I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, it just never. We've been so focused on getting there, we never thought about bringing the track back. Now, just so you know,
Yes.
the Holopaw Visitors Bureau, the Desiree Inn is still open, and they give, as you may or may not know, it used to many years ago it was a house of ill repute. I don't know if you're aware of that. They give actual tours of the brothel, and
Really?
we're going to be including gift certificates for that event.
That's very good.
With for the first, say, 50 passengers.
Okay.
And it's I'm excited, and with the new idea of adding actual two-way traffic, I mean, that just doubles our potential, I think.
Well, now I know it'll probably be some time in the planning stage to get a return path, but you are going to have the buses
Available,
less than 1 million miles on them.
guaranteed, 75% uptime. That means 3/4 of the time you get on that bus, it will make it back to Cocoa Village.
That's a pretty lofty goal.
And we're going,
But you guys are gonna
we'll
do it.
live and die by that statement.
When will you be breaking ground, or when will the first passenger, when can they anticipate being able to take advantage of the new FART high-speed magnet train line?
Matthew, I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, and I don't mean to because you're a gracious host, but I ask you not to ask me details.
Well,
I mean, there are other people that have other plans right now to do similar things, not totally alike this at all. And suffice to say, we expect to be disturbing people's personal property by putting our piers and such very, very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, if you notice someone establishing a train rail in your yard,
Yes.
that's probably us. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We'll probably be the only ones building high-level train tracks in your yard without your permission.
From Cocoa Village. to
From
Yeehaw
Cocoa
Junction.
Village, from
Okay.
the Porcher House to Yeehaw Junction, the Desert Inn.
We are a little bit short on time. Is there anything we need to do, Bent, to wrap this up?
Well, I want to thank you, and you're, as I say, you're a gracious host.
Thank you.
If I do return, I wish you would respect my need to remain aloof on some issues, and please don't reference any of my other investment schemes. This is a winner.
We have the utmost faith in you. We were speaking with Bentley Rail, Executive Director of Implementation from the Florida Authority Rapid Trains, FART?
Trains,
Plural.
trains.
All right.
Yeah, well, now it was
trains,
when I
yeah.
came in, it was train.
No, now it's trains.
Now it's trains because of Joseph. Is that
Joey?
Joseph?
Yeah. And again, this portion of the Matthew Bronson Show was brought to you by Meglo Galley Fine Chocolate, makers of the famous Choco Cheese Delight, a cheddar cheese wafer encased in the finest quality chocolate available at fine chocolatiers worldwide. For additional information, email ChocMG, CHOCMG at myway.com. Remember to visit historic Uptown Meglo Galley, located on the north edge of Melbourne, just a little bit south of Ugali. We're going to have a brief little bumper music, as it were. Then we're going to come back and talk about paying your mortgage off in less than 30 years.
Absolutely.